welcome to the Music Polyglot channel. Today we are going to have a look at Just Want to Forget You by MARO. It's an amazing song, and you know what? The whole album is amazing. So I definitely encourage you to check it all out. Some beautiful songwriting, amazing singing, astounding guitar playing, so definitely want to check out. But anyway, today we're going to have a look at Just Want to Forget You, and I'm going to show you exactly what it is that you need to do to play it like she does. Let's do that in a close-up. So let's begin by talking about the chords. First of all, we have a capo on the 2nd fret. Now remember that whenever we have a capo, we refer to everything from the capo. So if I say open, it's obviously open to the capo. If I say fret 1, that'd be fret 1, fret 2, fret 3, everything from the capo. Likewise for shape, say if we're talking about a C major shape, we mean C major shape from the capo, although this would be a D, but we count everything from the capo. Great. Now we are in standard tuning, so that's good news. Now the chords are a little bit unusual, so let's go through the first few. It's actually the first 3 or 4, so that we have something to work on in terms of the rhythm. So let's have a look at the chords in the intro. Chord number 1, this is going to be a C major 13 with G in the bass. So C major 13 over G. Right, you have the diagram, but just as extra help, you will be better off using finger 1 on the 4th string, finger 2, that'll be the middle finger, on the 3rd string, that's the G string, and then fingers ring and pinky, which is 3 and 4, on the low E for the ring finger, and the A string for the pinky. And you can play all 6 strings. You'll notice that when we start strumming, it tends to revolve around just the bottom 5 strings, but you can definitely strum all 6, and that gives you that really rich sound. So chord number 2 is going to be exactly the same shape, but we go up 2 frets. Right, you can use the dots to navigate that. If you watch your ring finger, which is playing the bass note, you know that you can go from the 2nd dot that you see for the C major 13 over G up 2 frets to the next dot. This would be kind of a D6 chord, but with a bass on A. Chord number 3, E minor 9. This is, again, it's not that uncommon to see E minor 9 played like this. So this is probably a good way to look at it. Have a look. So you're going to have the open E, and then it's almost like you fretting a power chord on that B, which is the 2nd fret on the A string, and then 2 frets further up on the next string down. So that's the D string, 4th fret, always from the capo, remember? Right. So that's already an E minor 9. You have the open G, so the open 3rd string. And then you have to fret the 3rd fret, again from the capo always, 3rd fret on the B string, right? You can also play the high E string, that gives you an E minor 9. Now I do like this with the pinky and the ring finger because I find it more comfortable, but you might just as well do it with fingers ring and middle, like that. You might find that a bit more comfortable. Okay, for some reason I find that playing the D string with my pinky just makes sure that I don't actually touch the G string and it can ring out open. But that sounds, but there's no technical reason why you would prefer one or the other apart from just a personal preference. So feel free to fret that with fingers 1, 2 and 3. Great. So let's put that in order. Chord number 1 again, C major 13 over G, then D6 over A, which is just 2 frets further up, and then the E minor 9. Great. There's a last chord after this, E minor 9, which is this. So this is a D add 4. If you play the high E string, it'll be a D add 9 and add 4, right? But with the bass on the 6th string, the A. If you think about this, think about playing a C shape as if you were playing C major, right? C major like that, but 2 frets further up. And now you're going to take that ring finger and place it on the 6th string and use the pinky to play the note that the ring finger was playing before you took it off, right? And now obviously you've placed the bass note finger on the 6th string, which means that that's going to be the bass now, right? You can play everything as well. Let's now have a look at the rhythm so that we can start putting all these things together. So you can think of this song as it being in 6/8. What does that mean? It means that you have 6 beats on the bar. So when you count, you would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the hand, your strumming hand, and this is a rule in strumming guitar. Your right hand goes down on the beat. So that means that you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So your hand's always going down on those 6 beats. But you also have to play the up strum. So now you're going to have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay? If you're not all that familiar with 6/8, although you may have played this before without even realizing that it was 6/8. So let's go ahead and have a look at the actual rhythm. So instead of us playing everything, which would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, we really only want to play 1 and 2 and 4 and 5 and 1 and 2 and. Got it? Let's play it together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 and 2 and 4 and 5 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 5 and. Okay, so that's the rhythm. Now we're going to go through the chords in the intro. Now that we have the chords and the rhythm. So let me play it for you once so that you can see what's going on, and then I'll play it much slower and we'll break it down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's play that again much slower. Okay, so there's really very little to say about this, right? You play the same rhythm throughout the chords. So we're going to have a whole bar of C major 13 over G. So that's 1 and 2 and 4 and half a bar again, and we go up to the D6 and then down to E minor 9. Half an extra bar, and then the D at 4 at 9 is a passing chord to go back. And this time we stay on the E minor 9 for the duration of the whole bar. Okay, so far so good. Let's have a look at the verses. So we don't need to talk about the rhythm anymore because the rhythm is the same throughout. Great thing. Now the chords change a little bit, especially, there's a few idiosyncrasies, especially between the first and the second verses. Let's go through all that in detail. So verse number 1 will go like this. Same rhythm throughout, remember? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 1 whole bar on the C major 13, and then half and half on the C and D. You land on the E minor 7, and then only 1 bar on the E minor 7 before you do that D add 4 add 9, and then go back. And this time as well you stay 2 bars on that E minor 7. And then that repeats. And then you're going to move on. Cool, alright, I think that's clear enough. Let's move on. Okay, we need to add one more chord, and this is going to be an A minor 9. So what we have to do is we have to come up to the 5th fret, which is going to be your 3rd dot, and you want to play your bass note with the ring finger, and then on the same fret with, sorry, I said ring, but it's the middle finger. Bass note with the middle finger, right, on the low 6th string. And then on the same fret, the ring finger plays the 4th string, that's the D string, and the pinky plays the 3rd string, which is the G string. If your 5th string doesn't ring out, so say you're muting it like that, that's absolutely fine because it would be the same note as the bass note, right? So you don't actually need it. There you go. Cool, so that's going to be the only new chord? Yes, alright. So it'll go 1, 2, 4, another bar, and then D add 4 add 9, which is that one, for also 2 bars. And then the E minor 9 for 2 bars. And then again the D add 4 add 9 chord for 2 bars. And then you go back to the A minor 9. And you would think you do the whole thing again, but this sequence stops here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Before going back to the second, before going back actually to the intro sequence to start the second verse. Let's actually have a look at that second verse because it's different from the first verse. Actually start the second verse, which goes, I'll slow it down. So this is just like the first. Here, watch out. E minor for half a bar, D add 4, then back. Same thing. 3, 4, 5, 6. There you go. Same thing, E minor 9, D add 4. And then you have the A minor 9 bit for a bar and a half. And here. Okay, that's where we go into the bridge chorus bit. So this is a little bit unusual, right? Because the second verse is very different to the first, and it kind of takes elements from that chorus bridge bit and pre-introduces them this time. So let's actually go back to the beginning, okay, to the beginning of this second verse and make sure we get what's going on. So we have the main sequence, which is the C major 13 over G for 1 bar, and then the next bar will be half the C, so we stay on the C and then up to the D. We've done this before, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, and back up. E minor 9 for a bar and a half as well, so D add 4. Okay, that's sequence 1, and we repeat it. So 1, 2, 3, D6, E minor 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here is where this changes, because we go to the A minor 9 for a bar and a half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, D at 4, 4, 5, 6, E minor 9. for 2 bars. And then, because we haven't really gone into the pre-chorus, we actually go back to the C major 13. E minor 9, and then this happens. And now we really are in that bridge chorus bit. So what's that run up? So we had 1 whole bar on the E minor 9, and then we have 4 chords. 1, which is the E minor 9, 2, just like the A minor 9, same fingering but on fret 2. Then you go up just 1 fret, but fingers 2 and 3, middle and ring on your left hand, they go up 1 further fret. So you have the bass note on fret 3 and the other 2 on fret 4. Nice, so far E minor, F sharp minor, G major. Then we jump all the way up to the last dot before your double dots. This is going to be fret 7, counting from the capo. This makes this chord a B minor, and then you'll land on the A minor 9. Alright, this is a lot of information, but the main thing I want you to think about is how you're actually playing the exact same shape. So keep an eye on where your index is. You're coming from that E minor 9, right? Okay, so then you play that once, you adopt the A minor 9 shape on the 2nd fret, little variation just 1 fret further up, then you jump all the way up to the last dot before your double dots, same shape, and then you land back down 2 frets on the A minor 9. Right. So it's really the same thing throughout. You only have to watch out on the G, where the index is 1 fret further down from the other 2 fingers. Now, if this is super complicated, you know what? You could also just leave it out entirely and play 2 bars of E minor 9. Dum, 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 and then you're on the A minor 9. Now, obviously, if you've watched any other videos on this channel, you'll know that I'm very keen on getting all the details right. So what I would advise is practice. Practice enough so that you get all these little nuances and little passages. Take things slowly, practice slowly first, and then take things up to tempo. Cool. Now, so whenever you go to the 2nd bridge, we're going to have pretty much exactly the same thing as we had before. So 2 bars on A minor. 2 bars on D add 4 add 9. And then E minor 9, 2 bars. And then 1 bar on the D add 4 add 9 again, and then this. Very, very similar to the first run up, right? But it's not the same. This one goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you land on the A minor 9 again. So in context, coming from the bar prior, you were coming from this D add 4 add 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Great. And then this time you don't stop, keep playing. And then you'll move into this. So, how's it going so far? It's time to fasten your seatbelts because the next section is actually the hardest. But hey, if you need the tab and the sheet music, all that is available to all my Patreons on my Patreon page, to which I'll leave a link in the description below. Okay, so this is the bridge proper. Now, this is like learning a whole new song again because it's completely different. Your finger picking, the pattern is different, everything's different. Let me play it for you once so you can see what's going on. Okay. So let's break that down. We're going to start, let's actually look at the first chord. It is like an A minor 9, except that we are actually going to open up the D string. So that means that we no longer need to use the pinky, we can just use the third finger on the third string. Same fret, so 5th fret for both the middle on the low 6th string and the middle finger on the 3rd string, i.e. the G string. That's our first chord. Now on that first chord, let's look at the picking pattern. We're still in 6, that's not a problem. The pattern will go like this. That's the sequence. So, so that was thumb and middle to begin with, and the thumb will play the bass note, and the middle finger will play. And I'm talking about my right hand, by the way, right? The middle finger will play the G string. So 2 together. Great. Then you go index and ring on my right hand again. So the index will be playing the D string, that's the 4th string, and the B string, that's the 2nd string. All right, so far. Cool. And then you go thumb and index, one at a time. So remember that the thumb was playing the bass note and the index was playing the D string. Together, both index, ring, thumb, index. And again, both together, thumb and middle. And index, ring, thumb, index. Okay, practice that a few times because that's the loop. We're going to have to go. And again. Practice that until you have the rhythm down, because again, once you have the rhythm down, you can extrapolate that to all the other chords. Let's have a look at those other chords. So that was this A minor type of chord is chord number 1. We're going to stay here for 1.5 bars. Then we're going to play the same pattern on an E minor 11, which is everything open. And then F sharp minor, which is on the 2nd fret. So this is actually the exact same shape as the one we started with, but on the 2nd fret. Same finger pattern. Okay, so that's 1.5 bars. And then we do this. Alright, so that was on the open. It's almost like you start the pattern with, on my right hand, thumb, middle, then the index, and then I do the same thing, thumb, middle, and index, but with on my left hand with the F sharp minor shape. Okay, let's have a look at that line again from the beginning. So open, 2nd fret. Here goes the funny turnaround. And then again. Did you catch that? Open. 2nd fret. Okay, here he goes again. Alright, this is played 4 times, and then we just change chords. The pattern will be the same, but now we are actually going to drop to the fourth, we're going to be playing the higher 5 string, so we're no longer playing the 6th string. And we kind of go to this C sharp minor 9 type of thing, which is on the 4th fret, right? We're going to be playing with the middle finger on the 4th fret of the 5th string. Then on the same fret, you're going to add the ring finger on the G string and the pinky on the B string. And we're also going to be playing the high string, the high E, the first, open. We're not going to be playing the 4th string, so it's okay if you're muting that. Actually, you should. Okay, now here's the good news. The pattern will be the same. You just have to take, on your right hand, you just have to take everything down 1 string, right? So your first 2 fingers that play together, kind of thumb and middle, they will be playing now, the thumb will be playing the 5th string, and the middle finger will be playing the 2nd, right? But then it's the same after that the index will be playing the G string, and the ring finger will be playing the high open E string, right? Right? But everything else about the pattern is the same. So that was chord number 1. Chord number 2. Okay, so how do you get that? Look, the easiest way is from where you were, just bring everything down 1 fret, keep the bass note, now it's 1 fret further down, lose the pinky and put the 3rd finger, so that's the ring finger where the pinky was, and add your index 1 fret below on the G string. So, right. Okay. Chord number 3, now check this out, it's a B minor 7, so the only thing you have to do is to place that middle finger where the index is at the moment, there, and the index will go up to the 5th string, 2nd fret. So you get. And then you just drop down to that A minor 9 shape one more time. And that last bar, all you get is an A bass note, 1, 2, 3, B, 5, 6 for the remaining of the bar before you go back to the main verse. Let's play that last section one more time from the C sharp minor 7. So down 1 fret to the D over C. Swapping around for that B minor 7, and finally to the A minor. Single notes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Woo! Alright, so that's hard. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. I read and reply to everything. So there we have it. It's a difficult song, I'll give you that, but if you practice slowly and patiently, you will definitely get there. Remember that you have tabs in the description if you need them, and feel free to drop any questions you may have in the comments below. Thank you for staying till the end, and I'll see you next time.